I got so much flack on my video where I talked about how we took AI transcription notes and turned that into an assignment for an AI coding agent and then deployed that into production. There's a mix of disbelief and then a lot of people saying like, good luck with all the bugs that you create, or like, you can hire me for $1,000 an hour to fix the mess. Now, you all definitely have a point here because when you use AI, you can make bigger messes than ever, faster than ever. And yeah, you can usually get your initial prototype out really fast. But here's the thing, the part where I mentioned CI/CD and testing is just as important as the part where I mentioned AI. In my experience, there's really only two states when you're developing a complex system that needs to actually run well in production. The first state, and really the default state of all of software engineering and programming, is that you're essentially fighting the computer. You create a theory about how the computer works and what you want it to do, and you write code to try to get it to do that. But what happens a lot of times, even when you're not using AI, is the computer just says no, like that's not going to work. The simplest form of this is compilation errors or unit test failures, or the software just simply doesn't work or has a bug. This is nothing new. The thing that's new is that AI lets you get into a mess much faster. But the solution in the AI world is really similar to the solution in the pre-AI world, which is really that software verification and continuous integration and delivery is actually really key in order to be able to ship fast. But it's a little bit of a conundrum because people who are really impatient don't have the time to set up the CI/CD system. So if you just literally develop in production, yeah, production's probably going to blow up. But if you have a CI/CD pipeline where you can commit code and that code goes through your unit tests, goes to a preview deployment where you can really verify it manually, and then you upgrade that to a staging environment, verify the staging environment, and then push it into prod, only when you're sure it's working. And not only that, but you make sure that you can roll back the changes that you did put into prod. Then you can really start to move fast because you can have high confidence that you can make changes quickly and they're going to be actually verified quickly as well. But the ability to roll back is also really important too. The way that we're doing that at Gobi is that we're essentially using Docker images, which have a SHA sum. So the build that we're testing and staging is the exact same build that we're putting into production. And not only that, but we're using database branches with Neon. So every time we open a pull request, it's actually making a fork of the production database and testing all of the code against that, including our database migrations. And Neon gives us a really cool feature too, where we can roll back to a specific point in time in the history of the database. This gives us high confidence that we can use AI to develop software fast, but also verify it fast and get it into production really fast. This is how we're able to ship into production 5 times a day, every day.